what is the great part about the live format is the live reactions along with the live dialogue and very human like natural interactions. And from that, you can pull some really great clips. They're commenting, and I think that's the big payoff for live streams is that if people want to be a part of the conversation, they'll watch in real time and they'll engage and share their opinion. And we so every watch party we've done for this year, we bring in folks like you, and we even we evolved Liz Miller into an in-room correspondent. So so we're all sitting in our own little spots. And then Liz is actually in the keynote, and she was feeding us her commentary from inside as we are all doing our commentary.
And the cool thing about that, by the way, is she had VIP views of, VIP customers and key players and their reactions, which is priceless. And that's the one thing that's really hard to get virtually. So that was cool.
Next time we're going to have to get her a camera so she can get us a picture of the actual. But and all of these things are opportunities to create content that brings a little bit more than what we are used to. And I think vendors, they got to know us, and a lot of them know us because we've been doing this for years. And they got to feel like they should hopefully feel like they can trust us to, not try to do gotcha stuff, because we're not trying to do that. We're literally asking questions that we're hearing from others and that we have for ourselves, and trying to do it in a way that is more informative than accusatory or, picking at things. I think what our audiences want are to be able to have even discussions, not just something that comes off as it's just marketing or all that we're feeding them the questions that they want. We want to ask questions that we have and that folks that are watching us have in a way that isn't gonna like put you, at some sort of a, feeling like you gotta protect yourself, because people want honest, open, natural discussions about things that are important to them.
And I hope the big vendors are listening. Tammy, some of them do and some of them don't, and some of them do selectively, and it's a work in progress for sure. I think one of the things, and I write a lot about event design and event participation because it's part of my B2B buyer sort of framework thing. And my big thing is that a lot of what we have in events are legacy artifacts. So I would argue that the keynote is something of a legacy artifact of pre-pandemic events. And people don't get on airplanes, folks, to watch 2 and 3 hour keynotes. They just don't. That's not why they're at your event. And the big lesson from the pandemic is that all of this stuff should be and usually is available on replay. And that's not why they're there. They can catch their keynote in their own time. And so part of this, Brent, is that attention and attention economy does not mean your undivided attention. And vendors need to really understand that point because it's really, really crucial. So for example, like when I talked to a vendor about the watch party concept, I said, hey, have you been following what the CRM players are doing here? Because they're throwing these watch parties, and I'd like to do one for your event because I didn't think you guys were going to cover that particular event because it's not a real CX kind of focused thing. And so anyway, I planted the seed and let them think about it. But what I said was, I realized this is a little outside the comfort zone of some, marketing people, because we will be talking over some of the keynote, right? But and we're going to be snarky sometimes too, right? And that's part of it, right? There's a snark factor in that. And the key is to get the right balance, right? Between, I like this isn't good, this is funny, and not talk over everything, because you don't want to be like the sports broadcaster that talks too much. But it's like I said, the advantage of it is it starts to feel like an event again. But in general, I think watch parties are the future of enterprise keynotes, and brands need to get ready for that. Tammy's on fire. Here's the one for the highlight reel, Brent. You're right. No one is paying my travel to hear a keynote.
It's because people never really just wanted to be a spectator for a lot of this.
Right.
They've always wanted to be a part of what they're seeing. So this is the way this watch party stuff gives people a voice. And it's not just us on screen, but it's the people in the comments. I think people giving these technologies and these platforms, it allows us to invite them in and be a part of what's going on in real time. And if you ignore that, you're ignoring like a really good opportunity to grow an ecosystem, a community ecosystem around your product.